Hey there, it's your favorite evangelist back for another video about tools that I find useful. Second video from the new space, and hopefully over time it'll look better and better. And because some folks hate sitting through my intro, here is the TLDR. I am using Doppler for personal projects. If you want to try to use it, use my referral code at the bottom and you'll get a $100 credit, and so will I. You don't have to pay for anything, but you get more features if you do, and at their pro level, the credit will get you at least 5 months of use. Are they paying me to say this? No, I have no relationship with Doppler. At the time of this recording, I doubt they know that I exist, but I do honestly use them for personal projects. I will get a credit if you try them out, but no cash will ever change hands. And I've been paying for their pro account out of my own wallet for a few months now. Okay, end TLDR. If you do any kind of development work, you know that dealing with secrets is always a pain. Lots of folks will put their API keys and tokens and other secrets in environment variables. But if you have multiple projects, you'll have dozens of secrets defined in your shell profiles or startup scripts. And then it's always hard to remember what goes with which project, and are any of them safe to delete or do they need to be updated? And so these things multiply, and soon you have a config file that is just miles long. So one solution is to use a .env file. There you have different env files in each project directory, and a CLI tool like .env will load and unload them as you navigate into that directory. But anytime you rely on a file, you have the very real risk of sharing those files where you shouldn't. They could get exposed on a Zoom call, or even worse, in your next push to GitHub. Pushing the wrong files to GitHub or GitLab or whatever your source control solution that you're using is incredibly easy to do and rather difficult to roll back from. We've all exposed secrets we shouldn't, and if you think you haven't, you just don't know about it yet. There are plenty of tools out there to scan GitHub repos for secrets to take advantage of, so don't be a target. Now, there are lots of tools and services that have come up to solve this problem. One of the biggest at the moment is Vault by HashiCorp. But it's not a trivial setup, and now you have a service to maintain. If you're at a company of any decent size, there's probably someone to deal with this. But I like to keep things simpler, especially for my personal projects. Now, if you're just dealing with AWS keys, you can use AWS Vault, made by 99 Designs, and available at no cost on their GitHub repo. But that's a bit specialized to one single use case. If you're using AWS or Azure or Google, each of them have their own secrets manager. And then there are the dozens of other startups trying to make secrets easier to work with. I'm sure there are plenty of choices out there that would be perfect for me, but the one that I've been pretty excited about for my personal projects has been Doppler. Again, this is just something I'm using for personal projects and not anything that I'm using in any professional capacity at Datadog. I think Doppler would work great if any company chose to use it to manage secrets, but I want to make it clear that we are not using it at work, as far as I know. Setting up Doppler is very easy to do. Just go to the register page, enter your name, email, and password, and you're ready to go. They offer two-factor authentication, and anytime any site has that, you should take advantage of it. So once you're in, create a new project and give it a relevant name. It defaults to 3 stages, though you can delete or add however many you need. I'll just have dev and prod. So the first thing you want to do is add a secret. Let's add an API key. I'll add API key, and then just add some value. Since this is just a demo, I'm just going to add some random text with dev branch in the middle, and click save. Then I'll go over to the prod environment and update the API key to be something for prod branch, and save that too. Now, let's create a test program to verify that things are working. My test program is just going to spit out the API key environment variable. Now, normally this would be something written in Ruby or C or Go or Python or JavaScript, or I like to use TypeScript with Dino. But for this example, I'm just going to make a shell script. So vim testing Doppler. I'll add a hashbang and then echo, this is my cool testing Doppler program, and then echo $ API key. Set the permissions to allow execution on the script, and I have a bin directory off my home that is already in my path, so I'll just shove it over there. Now I'll run testing Doppler and I see no results. Okay, because I have nothing in my environment variables. But if I run the Doppler command first, we'll see some magic. Doppler run -p for project, and then -c for config or stage or environment, which is dev, then 2 dashes and whatever command we want to run. That could be your dino run command, or maybe the npm run script, or in our case, testing Doppler. And now we see the output. Change the environment to PRD for production, and we see our production API key. Now this works because when I set up the Doppler CLI, I logged in as me. But when you deploy, you don't really want to hard code your username and password in whatever platform you're using. So you can create a service token for each stage and then use that in your Kubernetes deployment manifest or Docker YAML or cloud configuration. There are also integrations with AWS and Netlify and Cloudflare and GCP, Firebase, Heroku, and more, where Doppler will sync its secrets with those platforms, and you can ask for secrets in a native way in your projects. If you're using Pro, which costs $18 a month, you can also use webhooks, which means you can pass the secrets to your GitHub Actions or CI/CD pipeline. If you're working with other folks, you can add them to your team to share secrets with them. Now, one of the things I think is really cool is the ability to share a secret with anyone. Sometimes you just need to share a password with someone, and when they see it, you don't want anyone else to see it. So go to share.doppler.com and you can enter a secret, and then choose to have it expire after a single day or even a single view. I love this feature, and it works even if you never become a customer. Now, obviously, if you're using a company like Doppler to manage your secrets, you need to trust them. I encourage you to read their security documentation at the bottom of every page to understand how they're storing your secrets. It's actually really well written and pretty easy to follow. In fact, all their docs are really useful. I think it's a great tool, and I will continue to keep paying for it. But remember, if you sign up using this offer code, you get a $100 credit, at least at the time of recording, to play around with it. And I get a $100 credit too. So, hey, we all win. If you start using it, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. If you find another tool to be better for you, show that in the comments too. And that does it for me for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.